Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Miss Crocheting Coffee here, and today we're back with something a little bit different. Today we're back with a marker review. So I was actually in the group Crafters Anonymous with Miss Crocheting Coffee and Rachel Ray. Yes, I share a group with one of my favorite YouTubers, Rachel Ray, and one of my one of the members of my group was asking about a particular set of markers. I think they're called Alki Art markers. They're a budget-friendly marker, and she wanted to know how good they were if they left a yellow hue. Now, I don't know what that means. I have tons of markers, and I've never seen a yellow hue, so I'm thinking it's something that she might have had happen to her with a budget-friendly marker. So she asked, you know, has anybody tried these? And I was like, no, but if you would like, I can try them for you. So I went ahead and purchased them, and I got the 60 pack of them. Now, she was asking about, I think, the 120 pack, and I was just like, can I do the 60? I don't need that many markers. Plus, they're nib tip, not brush tip, which brush tips are my favorite. So I was like, I don't want to get like a whole big thing of nib tips. I already have a bunch of them. So I went ahead and purchased them. It took them a couple of days to get here, but they're finally here. Boom. Now, first thing I noticed, this isn't the brand that is on Amazon's website. The brand on Amazon's website, which will pop up over here, will be Alki Art. But when I ordered them, this is what I got. It's called Touch. Now, I've seen this brand on Wish. I've seen this brand as a very low budget friendly marker. So I'm a little hesitant on these markers because of the fact that it's not the brand that it said it was on the website. So right there, they already lose cool points because essentially you're branding something else, and this looks nothing like the picture that they show on the website. The picture on the website actually shows the brand on the bag. This says Touch. So it does say it's a 60 piece, and when you open it up, we have square barreled markers, which I do like that. So we have the square barreled markers. The markers themselves, sorry about that. So also on the marker itself, it says Chin Yun. It says Touch Bool, B-O-O-L. So these are not the markers that were advertised on Amazon's website. So if you do happen to purchase these markers, just know that it's not as advertised. They're not Alki Art. They're Touch Bool. I don't know what that is, but that's what I was sent when I ordered the ones that the member of the group asked me to order. So that is another cool point lost because you're essentially advertising something that you're not giving to your customer. So I wanted to try them out for her just so she can tell if they have like the hue or not. I'm not sure how much she cares about the fact that it's not the brand that was on Amazon's website. So yeah. So of course, first thing you want to do when you get markers of any sort or type or from any company is you want to color swatch them. And I have my color swatch book here where I've done tons and tons of color swatching. And here are the swatches of these colors. Now you can see they're very vibrant, bold colors. So I will give them that. The colors do look really good. These were just color swatched a couple of hours ago. So we're going to just pull a random color out of the bag here. We're going to pull up number 3, which is Rose Red, which is this second one right here. And they do match the cap. From what I was told before they left me here by myself, the fin for myself, the colors do match the caps. Some of them might be just a little off, but for the most part, they do match the caps. Like this is 47 Grass Green. It does seem to be a match there. Let's see here. Let's pick a pink, number 6. Which is Vivid Pink. I'm not sure if you can see that. Vivid Pink. So Vivid Pink. And when we look here, it does seem to match. Get down into the business. It does seem to match the color itself. So that is a plus. The colors do match what they are advertised. One of the ones I was worried about when I first swatched it was this one, which is Wine Red. It's a little lighter than it shows on the cap, but we can see if we can make it work. So you always want to make sure you swatch your markers for this reason, because especially in this case where essentially I bought one thing and got something else, you want to make sure that the colors are at least going to be correct if you're not going to be returning the markers. So, and since I'm not returning them, I'm going to do a video with them. Yeah, we're just going to try it out. So I don't want to color anything too horribly detailed. because I'm going to time lapse it. So I don't want to color anything too horribly detailed. So I'm just going to pick something like this. Now, this is out of my book. If you were in live on Friday, you would have seen me, or this past Friday, you would have seen me coloring this book, Color Me Melanin by Brooke Rankins. She's an artist that I found on Instagram, and she had just put out a new coloring book. So I've been wanting to color in this book for the longest time. So I'm going to time lapse me coloring this using just a couple of the colors. Again, I didn't want to use anything that had too much detail in it. So if you want, I can do one image like this, and then I can do another image that has a little bit more detail. If this goes well, I'll do another image. So we're going to go ahead and time lapse this so that you guys can watch me color this to see how it turns out, and we'll be right back. Also, before we go, always make sure to put something behind your page, especially if they're thin pages, so that it doesn't bleed over. So let's go ahead and give her some color and see what we think. Alright, so as you can see, we're done. And so what do I think? I was going to do a second picture, and then after using the markers, I've decided no. I would not recommend these markers. They're very hard to work with. The markers are very hard to work with. They don't blend. They're too oops, hold on a second. Alright, sorry about that. Daisy sees somebody outside. The markers are very hard to work with, and they're actually really scratchy. They're not like, how do I show you this? When you're working with especially a brush tip, you want a smooth transition, and these aren't smooth. They're very scratchy when you're working with them, and they don't glide over as smoothly as I would like for them to. You can tell the materials that are used to make these aren't the best, because when you're trying to blend the colors, as you can see how spotty it is, up close you can see it better. I went over this with 2 coats of that I got a little bleeding there. I went over this with 2 coats of that color because I wanted to see if this part would blend, and as you can see, it did not blend at all. I actually even waited until it was dry, because when I did it when it was wet, all it did was take a color away. So the colors aren't even. Using them, they're very scratchy. They don't blend very well, and that's proof positive down here as well, because you can see the cells had split apart essentially in the materials that they used, and they don't have an alcohol smell. So for alcohol markers, they have no alcohol smell, which is an indicator that they are alcohol markers, but these don't have that smell. They don't blend very well, they don't cover very well, and they're too juicy, so it's hard to control them. I mean, it's already hard to control a nib tip as it is, but when you go to push a color down, so we're going to put a little dot right here so I can show you. When you go to put a color down and it spreads, like watch it fill in that circle there. It makes it difficult to control your marker, because of the fact that you don't know how far out that color is going to spread. You don't know how much of that color is going to put down, so you end up doing outside of the lines, which as an adult, I don't care if it goes outside of the lines. But what I do care about is the fact that they don't color the best. They don't blend the best. They were just really hard to work with, and it wasn't really an enjoyable experience. So to the young lady in the group, or anybody else that has been interested in the Alcart/Touch markers, I would not recommend these markers to anyone. I'm probably going to give these to my kids just because they don't work very well. Where the picture, I think, turned out great, and I was debating putting this darker color like I did on her lips. I debated put that on the under part here, because even whenever I did the swatching, the tones that they have for red all look alike. Like there's not a lot of variation between these 3 colors. So it was hard. And then like even here with the pink, you have pastel or pale pink, pastel pink, pale violet or pastel violet, pale purple. These two and these two almost look the same. So it looks like you have a lot of colors that are about the same hue. And then when you use them and then you have to wait for them to dry to see the true color. It just doesn't look good to me. Like, I think the picture turned out great, but the coloring process itself was not a good process. I would definitely say if you're going to buy markers for adult coloring, and you're looking for budget friendly, try Parku. Try Art and Fly, try Ohuhu, which is like one of my favorites. You don't necessarily, if you're not a brush tip person, get the nib tip. They all have nib tips. They all have brush tips, except for Parku. Parku only does nib tips, but they have a great 60 pack that comes in like a plastic container. I highly recommend Parku. Their colors are great. They match for the most part to their caps. These, I don't know what these are. These literally, it feels like Chinese knockoffs. I'm not gonna lie, they're not very good quality. I do like the barrel of the barrel and the fact that the marker tips stack, But other than that, I would not recommend these markers. So that is my final thoughts on the a la carte / touch markers. So if you have any questions about these markers, please leave those down in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. But with that said, folks, I must get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel and would like to see more random crazy videos just like this, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime I randomly decide to put up a video. And believe me, it's random. But with that said, I must now bid you adieu. But not before reminding you, it's hard out here in these crafty streets, so please stay safe by wearing your mask, washing your hands, don't touch your face out in public, keep your 6 feet, and always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.